Welcome back to Mac Talk Sports, and in this video I'm going to review day 8 of Euro 2024, and what an interesting and exciting day that was. We've had our first nil-nil draw, which was quite an interesting nil-nil draw. How that game remained a nil-nil is beyond me, but because of that we did not have any teams qualify for the next round today. So Spain and Germany are still waiting for others to join them in the next round. A lot to talk about, so let's get right into it. We are gonna start with Slovakia versus Ukraine. Slovakia in the first round, they made the biggest upset of the Euros up until now by defeating Belgium. So they came into this game quite confident, on a high. Ukraine, on the other hand, they lost quite convincingly against Slovenia and were a bit dejected. And so the emotions and the momentum of both the teams was quite contrasting. And when the game started, you could quite clearly see that Ukrainians were still under a lot of pressure after that defeat. And Slovakians were really playing with freedom and confidence after they got after their win against Belgium. And from the get-go, it was Slovakia who started attacking. Hanslik beats his marker, gets a great shot away, but Lunin parries it away, and it stays nil-nil. Slovakia get another chance. Ball comes in from the left-hand side, and it's Schranz here, their hero from last night. He tries his luck, but straight at the keeper, and he makes an amazing save. Lunin is the one keeping Ukraine in the game right now. Slovakia, again, they get another free kick. Hanek is the one who takes it, and Lunin again he makes a save and pushes the ball outside for a corner, and it stays nil-nil. But all his good efforts and all his good saves were undone by his defense. They get a throw. In, and the ball it comes directly into the 6-yard goal, and the Ukrainians are not able to clear the ball, and somehow the ball comes at the back post. Schranz is there, and he heads it in, and it's 1-0 Slovakia, and they get the lead again, and Schranz is the hero again for them. And Ukrainians were all over the place in that moment, and Slovakia should have taken the advantage of that, but they were not able to do it. They were not able to make any clear-cut chances after that in that half. So we went into the second half with Slovakia leading 1-0. We came back for the second half, and it was like the game there was a different Ukrainian side to the one that went into the dugout. They were more aggressive, they were more up for it, they were fighting for every second ball, for every 50-50. So the game became quite aggressive and quite intense, and the luck really changed for them. Slovakia get a corner, but Ukrainians clear, and the ball gets onto the feet of Mikhailo Mudryk. He beats his marker, uses his pace, and starts the counter attack. Takes the ball forward, sees on the left hand side, passes it to Doibek, who waits, and then he lays it off for Zinchenko. He cuts it back inside, and there is Sharpenko who slots it in, and it's 1-1 to both. And it's 1-1, sorry. And then the game changes even more. The confidence that the Ukrainian players got after that goal was very noteworthy. You could see they were how pumped up they were after that. Another counter attack. Modric this time tries it, a great shot, but it hits the post and comes back, and the game remains 1-1. But not for long. Another counter attack, this time from the right hand side, and Yarchemek controls the ball beautifully, brings it down, takes a one touch, looks at the keeper, and then rolls it past under his leg, and it's 2-1 Ukraine, and that's the game. That's the goal that they needed, the win that they needed, the important 3 points that they needed after their drubbing against Romania. We end the game, and it was quite an interesting win, and I would say deserved win for the Ukrainians. They now also have 3 points in the group. Slovakia, on the other hand, they would be really sad that they would not able to keep hold of the lead and not able to convert their chances. If they had been in the first half, maybe the result would have been something else. But now it leaves Romania and Belgium, and if somehow Belgium defeat Romania, we will go into the match day 3 with all 4 teams of the group on 3 points. So that's quite interesting. Moving on to the next round, it was Austria versus Poland. Both of the teams, they came after losing their first games respectively, so it was important for both the teams to get a win to stay in this competition. And it was Austria who started stronger, who controlled the game, and their and they got rewarded for it. They get a corner, the ball comes in, and a thumping header from Turner and gets past Szczesny, and it's 1-0. Poland sort of woke up after conceding the goal and started to get in the game a lot more, and they almost got rewarded. Zelensky with a great shot, but great effort, but it goes wide, and it stays 1-0, but not for long. Not for long, as they are able to equalize the game around the 30-minute mark. The ball comes in from the left hand side. Bernardek's shot is blocked by Troner, but Petic on the rebound scores, and it's a 1-1. And then the game again became quite open, which is quite the case after the games becoming 1-1. Both the teams were really looking for the killer ball to basically end the game because of how important it was. The Polish, they got a great chance just before half time to get a free kick, and Zelensky was with an amazing free kick, but the Austrian keeper was right up with him. He made him stretch a lot, and he somehow manages to keep it out, and we go into the half 1-0. After the second half, we come back. The first 15-20 minutes were quite cagey. Nothing special happened apart from Robert Lewandowski coming in. And unfortunately for him and for Poland, that was his highlight of the game, him coming on, because he was quite invisible in the game. Austria, on the other hand, they finally make a great move. The ball comes in from the left hand side. Arnautovic makes a dummy run, takes the defender with him, and Baumgartner is there, makes a late run and calmly slots the ball into the net, and it's a 2-1 Austria. And after the lead, it looked like the Austria were on top of Poland. It was an open game end to end, but the chances most of them were made by Austria. Wem was another one who tried his luck, but Szczesny parried it away. There was chance from Presh as well. Szczesny was quite busy in that time. Finally, Sabasizer gets a play through and he beats the defender, goes around, pass around Szczesny, and he brings him down, and they get a penalty, and Arnautovic calmly and collectively scores the penalty, and that's 3-1 and game done and dusted. And Austria get the important 3 points to keep them in the competition, and unfortunately for Poland, it's looking really bad. They've lost both of the games, and with the result of the next game, it becomes even hard for them. They now need to defeat France, and they need to hope that Netherlands defeat Austria, and they defeat with a big margin for them to have a chance to get to the next round via the third place qualifiers. That is a really tough task. Speaking of Netherlands and France, the big talking point was, of course, Kylian Mbappe was not playing because of his injury. It was we start the game, and it was quite a lively game. Both of the teams had like a 50-50% share of possession. The first big chance fell to Netherlands. Frimpong loses his marker, makes a run behind the defense, and the ball gets played to him, and he almost scores, but Meinu makes an amazing save and to keep the game 0-0. France, on the other hand, they had an amazing chance. How they did not score that time? Rabiot gets plays in, and instead of in the 6-yard box, and instead of shooting, he lays it off to Griezmann, who unfortunately is not able to connect properly, and Netherlands clear. Meinu makes another save on the other hand from Gakpo, just like last game. He comes from the left hand side, cuts back and uses his from the inside of his right foot, tries to curl it, but Meinu makes a save, and it stays 0-0. We go into the second half, and France were the team that made better chances. Thuram was there, but after reaching the goal, he shoots wide. Griezmann again one-on-one with the keeper, but is unable to connect, and the keeper parries it away. How Antonio Griezmann did not score those two chances is quite ridiculous with a player of his caliber. It was a really bad night for him. But then the moment of the game happens. Netherlands, they get the ball comes in from the left hand. The ball comes in from the left hand side, and Depay shoots. The keeper saves, and the ball comes to Siemens' foot, and he scores it on the rebound. But the linesman calls it offside because according to him, Dumfries is interfering in Manu's vision. The decision goes to VAR, and they stay on with the on-field decision. The Netherlands were not really happy with it. It was quite a controversial decision, to be very honest with you. But at the end of the day, it's a draw between those two teams, and none of them are yet officially qualified for the next round. I still think both of them will qualify, but it's still not confirmed. So quite a good day of football and quite an interesting result, which will make match day 3 even more crazier and interesting to watch. That's it from me in this video. Please let me know what you guys thought of the game, especially the decision regarding Netherlands, and what will happen in the Belgium's group. Will Belgium be able to win and make it 4 teams on 3 points? Let me know everything in the comment section. Like the video and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, bye bye.